we want to go ahead and let's bring in Lisa Brown. She's the Oakland County Clerk and Register of Deeds. Thank you for taking time out of your Friday to be on the Oakland County MegaCast.
Thank you for having me.
What an incredibly busy time for your staff. I mean, the primaries are over, but you probably don't even get to catch your breath before it's on to the November election.
Well, for you, the primary is over, but we actually have recounts that we have to do. So we're really not done with August yet. And until we finish all that, we can't completely move on to November. So it's a busy time for us.
We are hearing so much in the national news, of course, about the U.S. Postal Service. What is your take on everything that is going on and just the politics involved in this as well? Are you surprised or not surprised?
I hate to say, you know what? I don't know if I can say I'm surprised or not, but I would say disappointed in the politics of it. You know, we've had issues with ballots before, mailed ballots before with the post office. And, you know, this year there was a lot of coordination before COVID started with like the design of the envelopes with the post office. I mean, the Secretary of State's office, the staff worked with the post office staff to, you know, make sure everything was to the best that they would know, okay, this is a ballot, this is where it needs to go, and all that sort of thing. And now to have this, I don't want to call it disruption, I don't even know what word to use for it, but it's unsettling. And I will tell you, I mean, from my office, we sent out a postcard with some election reminders from the August primary, and it took weeks for some people to, I mean, and it came after the election. It was very useful information, but it's not helpful if you get it after the election. So there's definitely a delay in some mail. And I think when I was on the show before the primary, I talked about drop boxes and encouraging people to use those. And of course, I'm still singing that song to definitely use a drop box.
So Clerk Brown, with the issues that continue to amount with the post office and their delays, what is your office and other local clerks, either at your suggestion or on their own fruition, doing in that case to ensure that these applications and these ballots and then eventually the votes are getting out to the public and coming back in a timely manner?
Right. So again, I guess first make sure you're registered to vote, right? And if you're not and you have a driver's license or a state ID, you can do that online. But you know, if you haven't already requested an absentee ballot for November and that's how you want to cast your ballot, then, you know, make sure you get that request into your city or township clerk. And but again, like I just had my mom ask me, where's my ballot? Well, we haven't even gone to print yet. So be patient. You'll probably get them towards the end of September. But then once you do get your ballot, don't wait on returning it. If you have changed your mind in the first week of October or whenever, you can always spoil your ballot. But the sooner you get it back, at least you'll know that it's been returned. And you can track your ballot with the absentee ballot tracker that is on the Secretary of State's website. So, you know, be an active voter and taking control and at least you know, knowing where you are in the process and ensuring that your ballot has been returned on time. Because we are not a postmarked state. It has to be returned to your city or township clerk by 8 p.m. on election day. It doesn't matter if it was postmarked a week before the election and it comes a week after, it doesn't count. So we want to make sure every ballot counts, every vote counts. So again, that's why I'm encouraging the drop boxes as well.
Yeah, I think there is some confusion too. I know that we got in the mail, I believe it's the application for the absentee or the mail-in vote. Why send those out and not just have people that do want them reach out to their clerk's office for them?
Well, the Secretary of State sent everyone an application for the primary. And, you know, as you talk about voting by mail, yes, this is, I think a lot of people are interested in it because of the pandemic, but also this is, you know, this is our first year with big elections since the passage of Proposal 18.3 that allows anyone, doesn't matter what reason, to vote by mail. So we were expecting, before even COVID started, we were expecting to see an increase in absentee voting because everybody had the right to vote that way. So, but the secretary, I think, did that just to make it an easier process. That was something she chose to do. And, we're definitely encouraging people to vote by mail. We want people to be safe. But again, make sure you get that ballot in on time.
Michigan is kind of late to the game compared to some of the other states for this mail-in voting. So what have you learned from other states, and do you think you need more staff to be able to process so many of these mail-in ballots?
Well, in August, we just tabulated ballots for 16 municipalities in Oakland County for the first time. There was new legislation that passed in June that allows city and township clerks to either contract with one another or to contract with the county clerk. And I signed contracts with 16 cities and townships, and we tabulated over 50,000 ballots. And we were done before dinner. We could have done more, but we hired a lot of people to do that. And, we really did the math. We had my staff really go through the process and open up envelopes, the whole thing that an absentee voting county board does, from beginning to end, and see how many could be done in an hour. And if, this many people can do this in an hour, if we're doing this many ballots, how many people do we have to hire? So we really did the math to try and figure that out. And, we're looking at November as well. But, I encourage people to, if they feel comfortable, to contact their local clerk or to contact my office if they're interested either in working in the polls or in the absentee counting board.
Just how much of an increased need for election workers is there for this upcoming election across the board?
Well, I think that's going to differ from municipality to municipality. I don't think that number changes for what you have in the precincts. That's a stable number. But I think for the absentee counting board, there's more staff needed there. Again, we did the math to figure out what that number would actually be. It's usually done by the city or township clerks, the processing of the absentee ballot. So it's up to each individual one as to how they process their ballots, how many people they hire. But I think that no one would feel like they have too many. And especially because, the day before or sometimes on election day, you have people who are sick or suddenly don't feel comfortable or just don't show up. So it's nice to have backup as well.
Lisa Brown with us on the Oakland County MegaCast. What did you learn from the August primary that will help you in November?
Well, for us, again, because it was the first time we tabulated absentee ballots, it was, I'm not going to lie, I was very nervous. It was taking on a responsibility that I've never had before. Not legally my responsibility, it's with the locals, but partnering with our locals, because this, how our elections are run in Michigan really is a team effort, from the city and township clerks to the county clerk to the Bureau of Elections at the Secretary of State's office. And whatever we can do to support each other, make our elections more efficient. I think also, people want results in a timely fashion. So, at 8:01, we had 16 municipalities absentee ballot results on our website. And I think that was a good process for us. Of course, there's things to learn and improve. And I think, our local clerks would probably say that as well. The thing for the clerks that we did contract with, any absentee ballots that came in after 4 p.m. on Monday before the election, they had to process those in the precinct. And that was a lot of work for them. So some of them just were inundated with ballots that came in on election day. And so again, I would kindly request that people return their ballots sooner. It's a lot of work to process an absentee ballot. And it's not just that the envelope comes and they rip it open and put it through a tabulator. I mean, the signature is checked and it's checked in, it's put into the computer. I mean, there's a lot of steps that go into place. So, to alleviate all that extra stress on election day, it would be nice if people return their ballots earlier. And I know for, like I said, the local clerks that we contracted with, they're going to change some of their processes to accommodate that bulk that may come in on election day.
I know your office is tasked with so many other responsibilities. Do you want to talk about the other services you provide? And I would imagine, is your office open right now, or is it by appointment only? How is that working?
We are by appointment only. We've been by appointment only for months. You know what? I don't even know what day it is anymore, but I do. I'm kidding. But we are by appointment. I just recently actually opened a satellite office in the South Oakland office building, which is in Troy. So it's another location that people can access our services. You know, with the setup here in Pontiac, I can't have all of my staff here in person because they wouldn't be socially distanced. Their desks are too close together. So we have a lot of people working from home, but opening the satellite office allows another place for people to get appointments. So I'm really proud of that. That was something I've been working on for a really long time. But the other services, well, I'm the Register of Deeds, and if people haven't heard of my program, Property Records Notification, PRN, it's my baby. I'm very proud of it. It's the first of its kind in the country program to alert homeowners to recordings on their properties. It's for free, and you know, I've just seen so much fraud in the Register of Deeds office, and my staff and I are really limited in what we can do. We're not allowed to investigate a document when it's presented for recording. So, but I have seen forged signatures on deeds and bogus liens on property, and you know, you wouldn't know that somebody did that to your home. So if you sign up for this program, you'd get an email. It's basically like a Google alert, but on our property records. So that website to go to, and you can also search our property records for free as well. OCMIDeeds, DEEDS.com. And you scroll down and you'll see property records notification, and you can sign up for that. So I'm also the clerk of the circuit court. So all of our circuit court records, I like to say I do everything from birth to death and everything in between. So if you were born in Oakland County, your birth record is here. Marriage licenses, concealed pistol licenses, DBAs. There's a lot that goes on here. And of course I clerk for the Board of Commissioners meetings, the jury commission. I'm going to forget a couple because there's so many things. The majority caucus for the Board of Commissioners, the election commission, and I'm forgetting one off the top of my head. But anyways, yes, there's a lot that goes on at the Clerk Register of Deeds office. You know, in other counties, they're two separately elected offices, the clerk and the Register of Deeds. They're both constitutional offices. They're in our Constitution. But I think in 1952, the Oakland County Board of Commissioners voted to combine those offices. So it's a lot all in one.
I was going to say, so we need like 20 of you. You want to multiply yourself so many times.
I like being busy. I like being busy. It's all good.
So are you seeing much of a delay in your office for some of these services?
No, my staff has been incredible. I have such a great team here. You know, when we were kind of, I don't want to say closed, but I guess I'll say closed. We were still working. And we still encourage, even though we've got appointments, we're still encouraging people to, you know, conduct business with us online if you can, or by mail. But there are certain things that you have to come in person for. But concealed pistol license being a big one that you have to be in person for a new concealed pistol license. If you're renewing, you do that online. But, you know, coming here and applying is one step of the process. The next step is getting fingerprinted. And most people who do that then would go across the street to the sheriff's office and get fingerprinted there. And so they weren't fingerprinting for a while. So I think we have a little bit of I don't want to say a backlog, but I guess I could say a backlog. Not on our side so much, but I know that they're booked out pretty far for their appointments to get fingerprinted.
Clerk Brown, just another couple minutes with you. Clerk Lisa Brown with us, the Oakland County Clerk and Register of Deeds on the Oakland County Megacast. Before we let you go, anything else that you'd like to speak to your constituents about, or any other additional information we haven't touched on today?
I just reminding people again, when they do, if they are voting by at home or even in person, because you can bring your own pen to the precinct, just make sure it's a blue or black ink pen, and make sure you fill in that box next to your choice. Check both sides of the ballot. And like I said, if you are voting absentee, you know, see if your municipality has a drop box, a ballot drop box that you can drop it off. That way you don't have to worry about the timing of it with the post office, and you know that it's already in your clerk's hands.
So I have a suggestion. I know that you don't make this decision, but I'm gonna push it with everyone that I can. Is on the ballot drop boxes. It needs to be some type of system so when I put the ballot in, it spits out an "I voted" sticker.
I like that idea, and I know I missed getting a sticker in August myself, and especially because the Board of Commissioners had a sticker contest to celebrate the anniversary, the centennial of the suffragettes, of the women's right to vote. And we had 2 winning sticker designs. I was honored to be one of the judges, and it was not easy. We have so many talented students in Oakland County, but they were just great designs that were made to be used this year. And not everybody got those because so many people were voting by mail.
See, so I'm on to something.
I like it. I like it.
I want my sticker. Lisa Brown, Oakland County Clerk, Register of Deeds here in Oakland County. Thanks so much for joining us on the MegaCast and taking time out of your busy schedule, because it seems like you need like 20 of you. I don't know how you make it through the day. So thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.